Hey, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to the PCT. Today is today. Probably you can tell based on the title, although I'm not sure what I'm gonna call this video, but I'm sure it will give away what this video is going to be about. And hence, not gonna say which day it is, it doesn't matter anymore. So, probably you guessed it. I have decided to. You can't really see my face, can you? So I have decided to stop hiking the PCT. It wasn't an easy decision to make because this is something I really wanted to do, and obviously the plan was to go all the way to Canada, right? And well, that's not gonna happen, unfortunately. So I just wanted to make this video to explain briefly, at least, anyways, and just to tell you guys that there were a few people who were watching my videos and commenting many times. So thank you for that. I do appreciate that. Hopefully, I responded to all of your comments, and if not, I'm sorry. I tried my best. But either way, I wanted to just say that that's the end for me, as in like for my PCT hike, anyways. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys know. I've been struggling in the past like 2 weeks on trail, mainly mentally. Like there were tiny little things that really got to me, and then there was just like one last little drop into that bucket, and I was like, yeah, I just can't do this anymore, or so just a couple of things, and these are gonna be like my things. Like maybe for others it's not a problem or not an issue, or they can handle it better, it seems, because obviously there are many people out there going through the same things I went through, and then they're carrying on, and so so one of those things was really the places where the trail was really overgrown in such a way that you couldn't even see the ground. You were battling through these bushes and shrubbery and whatever you want to call them, like all these things. They were just like some places were like like a jungle. You really would need like I don't know, like a machete or something to go through. But anyways, you go through those. Obviously, everything sticks into your backpack. Your I don't know. I had my tent outside. Of course, I had my foam mat on top, and they just got stuck so many times. And that's one thing that happens every so often. That's fine. That wouldn't be a big problem as such. I mean, it's annoying as it is. It's not a reason to quit the PCT, right? But at the same time, you can't see the ground, which means you can't see where you step. Sometimes the trail turns, so there's like a bend, but you can't really see it because, like, there are things on either side. You can't see the ground, and it's difficult. And then obviously we add the danger of rattlesnakes to it. So you can't see if anything's there. Yeah, they will warn you for the most part, anyways. They will they will rattle at you, and then obviously you will know that something's there. But what if the snake doesn't have time and just instinctively just, you know, strikes or something, you know? So I had one situation like something like this. It wasn't exactly like it wasn't in the bush, but I was going through this overgrown part. It was at least a couple 100 yards long, so there was lots of overgrown trail. And then when I finally got out of the very overgrown part, basically a few yards from that bit, there was a rattlesnake, which scared me. And it was a very frightening moment, maybe. I don't know. In a sense, it was, because, you know, you're trying to make progress, you're battling through those overgrown parts, and then when you get out, there's a rattlesnake, and that was towards the end of the day as well. So it's like, you know, and then basically, like, me personally, I basically spent 95 to 99% of my time looking at the ground, for multiple reasons. One, obviously, snakes, and two, wanted to make sure that wherever I step, it's a flat surface, or as flat as it can be. It's not on a rock, it's not on a, you know, loose part of the trail, or, you know. And there was a situation where basically I was just, you know, walking, and it wasn't even particularly, it wasn't like an overgrown part, it was just like a side of a mountain. And but I was so hyper focused on the ground, I didn't see that there was a guy on my left hand side, like a few yards away on trail, in the shade of or shadow of a tree, and I couldn't see him. And then he just, you know, waved at me and said, "Hey," and, you know, I stopped and I looked at him. It's like, I was like, "Hey, I did not, you know, I didn't see you there," because I was so focused on the ground, you know, just watching my steps. Again, it's just me. Maybe it's not, you know, others might do it differently. I don't know, but I felt the need to make sure that, you know, all my steps are like the best, you know, or like wherever I put my feet is the flattest it can be, or the best part of the trail it can be, right? And there were, like, you know, tiny bits like this, you know, but they just added up. And then it was at horse trail, or before horse trail camp, when I was getting to horse trail camp, but why I want to say camp. So horse trail camp, and I was like 2 miles away roughly. And then my left shin, lower shin, started to be uncomfortable. It wasn't too bad at the time. I could feel it, you know, I slowed down a bit. I could definitely feel it, but it wasn't too bad. So, you know, I got to camp, set up camp, and I massaged my shin and all that, you know, tried to do as much as I could with oh, look, ladybug. So sorry, I have to show you. Come on, buddy. So anyways, so, you know, I did what I could with the tools I had. I didn't have much. All I could do is like massage. I didn't have any cream or anything like that, you know. And that was like a sign. And then the next day I got down to Hikertown, 10 miles. It was fine. I didn't actually feel it that morning, even though I went down here, which was the worst part with like my shin. But you know, I didn't really feel it. And then for the rest of the day, it was kind of flat. You know, it was the aqueduct section. It wasn't too bad. No ups and downs really. Just like a long dirt road walk, or next to the road, or something like that. So it wasn't too bad, you know, that day. And so that day was fine. And then the following day, I woke up and I was like, okay, I feel my shin again. In the morning it wasn't too bad, and I started uphill really. So, and it wasn't too bad on the uphill. I was like, okay, I feel it a bit, but it's fine. I can manage this. And then got to the top, started to come down from the mountain, and then it started to ramp. So the pain started to ramp up a bit. And then the last, I want to say 3 miles was somewhat painful, and the last 2 miles were like extremely painful. I can't remember the last time I had such pain in my legs or feet or anywhere in my body really. It's just every step was painful. If you watch the last video, day 33, towards the end, you might be able to pick up on that a couple of times. I think you can kind of see it in the last couple of clips. I think maybe the last one. I think when I talk to the camera, you can pick up some of my face expressions and all that. But yeah, so it was really extremely painful. But there was something else. About 2 weeks ago on trail, one day I had a really short like toothache, just a tiny bit, like, you know, when one of your teeth is like sensitive, and just a quick, like, you know, something's there, right? But then it disappeared. Nothing for 2 weeks, nothing at all. It wasn't oh, got company. Sorry about that. So, you know, it wasn't like anything, or didn't seem like anything serious or anything like that. So, you know, for 2 weeks there was nothing. It wasn't sensitive. You know, I ate the stuff I ate, you know, normal things, no problem. Cold drinks, no problem. Didn't really have hot drinks, but I had hot, like warm ramen, whatever, no problem. And then it was the day when I was hiking from horse trail camp to Hiker Town and then Aqueduct. That's when, you know, again, in the afternoon, I felt it again. But once again, it was very, very brief. I was like, oh, okay, that's the second time, so maybe there's something. And then on my last day, I woke up in the morning, had my protein bar for breakfast, packing up my tent, you know, and all that. All good, no problem. Left camp, and after half an hour, I had a really sharp and really strong toothache. And it lasted for quite some time. And again, I haven't felt anything like this, like toothache wise, I don't know, forever. Not because, yeah, I know I have issues with my teeth. They should be fixed. Because, you know, I go to the dentist regularly. Anyways, that's not the point. Point is, everything should be fine, but there was this really, really, really sharp and strong toothache. And I just like, I stopped, like I couldn't move. I was like, that's not good. And that was the last drop in this bucket of things, you know. And again, it's like individually, none of them would, you know, stop me, I guess, if that makes sense. But these put together is just indicated to me like, okay, maybe it's time to call it and say, you know, that's it. You know, I gave it a try, and that's my PCT hike done. Again, it wasn't an easy decision, but it's a decision I made, and you know, I don't regret it. because I had a positive experience. I met so many amazing people, like hikers and trail rangers alike. Everyone was super, super nice. Like, you know, they help you, like the trail rangers, they help you without asking anything, you know, in exchange. You know, like many times when I had a ride, I tried to give money or tried to give money to trail rangers, and they refused to accept it. They refused to accept it. And you know, it might have been only like, you know, 2-3 miles, but still, that's gas money, that's time, that's effort, and all that. But they just refused to take my money, you know. And then I got, like, you know, drinks and food and help from trail rangers, and it kind of restores your faith in humanity, and it shows you that not everyone is bad, that there's lots of, you know, like, what's the expression I'm looking for? Anyways, it's many more good people out there than bad people, you know. Maybe it's just on the trail, I don't know, like anyone who I interacted with, and like anyone and everyone, they were like super nice, I can't say anything wrong about anyone that I interacted with on this journey. And you know, perhaps I made some friends, but definitely met people, and we had a great time, and we hiked together for a day or two, or 5 days or 10 days or whatever the case may be, or camped at the same spot many times, and you know, I had lunch with them, dinner with them, whatever. They were all great, and you know, I wish them all the best. Like everyone out there, I will follow your journey, and hopefully everyone will make it to Canada, or as far as they want to go. And yeah, so I have no regrets. I think this is just a decision I had to make. You know, at the last few days on trail, I didn't enjoy it as much as I should have or could have. Well, maybe both, or probably both. So again, that's like, for me, an indication that that's time. You know, if it doesn't give you enough joy, enough enjoyment, if it doesn't make you happy, then maybe it's time, you know. And yeah, so that's it. And this short announcement turned out to be a long monologue. I'm sorry about that. But I just wanted to share this with you and announce it. And you know, maybe I could have soldiered through it. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I don't want to think about what could have happened, because this is what is going to happen. I stopped. I'm staying in Tehachapi at the moment, but hopefully I will make my way to LA tomorrow, and then fly back to the UK the day after. Obviously, by the time you see this video, I should be back in the UK already. I'm kind of planning my next adventure already, because you know, I have spoken with my girlfriend Heine. Obviously, she was the first who knew that I made this decision, but I told her, like, since we gave up our lives for this adventure, and unfortunately it didn't turn out the way we wanted it to be, but that means that we can have a bit of a time off. So I don't want to rush back to work, back to the normal, you know, vicious circle of work, and you know, work, sleep, and then repeat kind of circle. So we are planning our next adventure. Maybe it wouldn't be this epic like the PCT would have been, but hopefully it will be a good one anyways. But just, you know, just want to relax, want to enjoy life a bit, because there's a thing, like so many times we are focused on that vicious circle, and sometimes you have to get out of it and just have to enjoy life a bit, because, you know, no one's gonna get out of alive, right? So might as well just enjoy the ride as long as you can. So hopefully in the next week or so we will have our next adventure organized and planned, for the most part anyways. I might share some videos about that on this channel. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. You know, as if you watched or checked out my channel, I have other videos of my travels. Nothing fancy, nothing, you know, crazy, but yeah, there's some up there. So I might do the same this time, but you will have to wait and see. Either way, I'm really sorry about the long video. And well, again, long story short, I've decided to stop hiking the PCT. But I would like to thank you all the people who watched my videos, all the people who supported me, and, you know, my friends and family at home. I would like to thank the whole PCT community as such, hikers and trail angels. Again, you guys are legends. Thanks for what you do. It really helps the hikers, and I know I appreciate it, and I know that others do appreciate your help too. The water caches, the rides, the food, anything and everything you guys do, you are absolute legends. So we or they, let's say we wouldn't be able to do this without you. So thanks very much. Okay, that's it. I have been talking for like 20 odd minutes. So, you know, this is gonna be a long video. If you got this far, thank you. You are a legend too. Because I'm sure not many people will watch it until the end. Again, thanks for following along. It's been a wild ride, but I did love it. And yeah, I will miss the trail. I will miss the people. But yeah, I will see you in my next adventure. Take care of yourselves and just be good. Thank you. Bye for now. Bye.